He's a pure savage.
Yeah, he don't care about
nothing. He's a pure savage.
Yeah.
And that's also why he was so good at fighting, man. In the middle of the Jose Aldo fight, I remember looking in his eyes and watching how calm, like genuinely calm he was. I'm like, this guy just, and Dana said it best. He's like, he eats pressure. He just eats it. He likes it. He wants it to be chaos. It's got guys say that, but they don't really.
Right. It is interesting that in the time where that low calf kick is coming to prominence, and this is also the time when Conor started moving away from the sport, took time off, fought boxing, then came back and had the fight with Khabib, and then came back and had the fight with Cowboy. The calf kick was never in play in any of his fights. But if you look at him stylistically, and this is one of the things, I love DC's detail that he does on ESPN. It's amazing. But when he broke down Conor's heavy weight on the right leg, he leans in like this all the time. It's such a big weapon.
And sometimes he, like you said, that wide stance as well. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to check the kick from that wide stance.
Yeah.
Well, it's a crazy stance for everything other than calf kicks. It's a great stance. Yeah. I mean, he's so good at moving in and covering distance with that stance.
As of right here, right now, Gaethje McGregor is still on the table. And I think that should be pulled. I do not believe that Conor should walk into a title fight, but moreover, I will tell you, and Conor will too, he's not going to 155. Now, the promotion does not yet have that through their head. They are still pushing for Conor and 155. This is all extremely accurate information. So, I think there's a lot of options for McGregor. I really think that if it's not him versus Chandler, it should be. We really should look at that. We fans were promised a certain fight. We fans have been pretty damn patient.
He's not hungry. What happened with his legs? Never, ever, never. People come back and never gonna be people on the same prime twice. Prime come only one time. Khabib Nurmagomedov didn't hold back, tearing down any notion of Conor McGregor's return to form. This wasn't just a critique, it was a brutal, stark prophecy from a former rival, directly questioning McGregor's ability to ever reclaim his former glory. The damage taken, especially to his legs, he argued, is something you simply don't recover from, sealing the fate of any comeback before it even begins. It's an unforgiving assessment that echoes through the entire White House card narrative.
It depends you fight with who. If you're gonna fight with Cowboy Cerrone, you're gonna look good. You're gonna be like lion. But if you're gonna fight like guys who on the top, who really best in the world, like Dustin Poirier, like this fight gonna show your level. Okay, fight with Cowboy or like these fights, be lion and that's it. Make money. This is smart. But if you want to become champion, if you want to fight like Beneil, Islam, Charles, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys lions, These guys gonna show your level. And
Joe Rogan sees a different beast. He's a pure savage. He don't care about the pure savage, Rogan declared, recalling McGregor's chilling composure in the Jose Aldo fight. Dana White himself said it best. He eats pressure. McGregor actively seeks chaos, thrives in it, a mindset that many claim but few truly embody. This inherent ferocity is a core part of his enduring appeal, a primal instinct that sets him apart even when not at his peak. It's this untamed spirit that still draws millions, promising fireworks regardless of the opponent.
What's next, Mauricio?
O que é o próximo? O que é o que vem agora para você?
Eu pedi Perry Pimblett na Casa Branca, talvez Conor McGregor tá querendo lutar também. Eu vi na internet rumores que ele acha melhor lutar contra mim, que sou um bom striker e que vai dar show pra galera, do que contra o Michael Chandler, que vem só de derrotas. E eu tô aqui, eu sou trabalhador do UFC, o que o UFC colocar, eu tô pronto.
Yeah, I work for UFC, but of course I want to fight on White House, maybe with Perry Pimblett or maybe Conor. I saw something about Conor saying that it's good to fight with me than Michael Chandler. So yeah, but I'm a UFC, so whatever the guys want to do.
Yet, a tactical chink in McGregor's armor has emerged, one that wasn't exploited during his initial ascent. DC Daniel Cormier, brilliantly dissected McGregor's heavy weight on his right leg, often leaning in, a stance that makes checking low calf kicks incredibly difficult. This vulnerability, absent from his fights before his hiatus and boxing venture, could be a critical factor now that the calf kick has risen to prominence. It's a stylistic detail that could unravel a legend, a weakness that was never truly tested in his prime, but looms large today.
About Conor is like still,
Yeah.
even though he might not be the best fighter in the world right now, he's still he's the golden goose.
Of course he is.
Yeah,
That's
which is
something
crazy.
that you can't take away
Kind
from
of
him.
amazing.
Despite the speculation, the highly anticipated Gaethje vs. McGregor showdown is still very much on the table. Sources confirm this remains a strong option, yet there's a crucial caveat: it should not be a title fight. The promotion, however, continues to push for McGregor at 55 pounds, even as it's known he won't be fighting at that weight. This disconnect between fan expectations, fighter reality, and promotional desires creates a perplexing landscape for the White House card. It's a game of high-stakes poker, with the UFC holding some cards close.
He still guarantees that many eyeballs will go to see him. You know, it just
That would be a great one. But what excites me more is the fight with Patty.
really.
Yeah, that fight excites me even more. And if they could put that fight in Spain,
Fans have been promised a certain fight, and frankly their patience is wearing thin. As the White House card draws nearer, the drumbeat of Conor McGregor's name echoes louder than ever, drowned by a chorus of callouts. Competitors are circling, the experts are divided, and the air is thick with anticipation. The historic event hangs in the balance. With one undeniable truth: McGregor will be at the center of it all. Everything else, every rumor, every potential opponent is merely an opportunity, a calculated risk waiting to ignite chaos.
I feel like there's a couple guys who kind of changed the game. One of them was Chael Sonnen, and another one is Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And part of the way they changed the game was talking mad shit and getting a lot of people to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And
Which, cool, you know? Like, it got them a lot of attention. It got them a lot of money. But, like, and if that's what makes them happy, cool. You know?
I
Like,
think
Amidst the clamor, Mauricio Ruffy has emerged as a dark horse, directly leaning into the commotion around McGregor. Asked about his next move, Ruffy didn't back down, presenting himself as the striker McGregor supposedly wants, one who causes trouble, not caution. He offered availability, not demands, making it clear he's ready to take center stage and let the UFC decide. This isn't just talk, it's a strategic move, showcasing a fighter prepared to capitalize on the biggest shadow in the sport without hesitation or ego.
Is what history show us. When you take like this damage, you're never gonna be same. Never, ever. Okay, if we talk about Conor, okay, like last couple years he's not hungry. And now what happened with his legs, like never ever. Never people come back, and never gonna be people on the same prime twice. Prime come only one time. You're gonna be on prime.
Ruffy's vision for the White House card isn't limited to himself. He revealed internet rumors suggesting McGregor believes it's better to fight him, a good striker, but also name-dropped another electrifying possibility, Paddy Pimblett, maybe with Perry Pimblett, or maybe Conor, Ruffy mused, indicating a willingness to step in against either. This unexpected twist adds another layer to the White House drama, showcasing the sheer magnetism of McGregor's name, pulling even rising contenders into his orbit, ready for any challenge the UFC presents.
You're gonna go down. It depends you fight with who. If you're gonna fight with Cowboy Cerrone, you're gonna look good. You're gonna be like lion. But if you're gonna fight like guys who on the top, who really best in the world, like Dustin Poirier, like this fight gonna show your level. You know, okay, fight with Cowboy or like these fights, be lion and that's it. Make money. This is smart. But if you want to become champion, if you want to fight like Beneil, Islam, Charles, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys lions, you know. These guys gonna show your level.
Confidence isn't limited to rising contenders. Even champions are doing the math. Ilia Topuria was brutally honest. There's no reason to decline a McGregor fight. Scale is the reason, not competition. He stated bluntly, a bout with Conor means history, an unparalleled spotlight, and numbers that fundamentally reshape a career. Topuria, fully aware of McGregor's golden goose status, stands prepared to answer the call if it comes. It's a stark acknowledgement that McGregor's value transcends his current fighting skill, offering a life-altering opportunity.
God that dictates my journey and all of our journeys, and I live my life by God's word. And since around that time that you mentioned at the last event, I've engaged on a spiritual journey, and I'm saved, I am healed. And you know, on the back of that, the world is in for a treat. The world is in for a treat. My competitive spark that was once in my heart is now a roaring blaze. So I'm very excited. You know, I envy these men up here on this dais. They're right about to make weight, and they're to go in and enjoy and entertain and do what they were called to do, as am I called to do it. And you know, I'm eager to get back. And right now I had to dial myself in and go inward, and that I done. And I'm very, very excited to come back my own self.
Joe Rogan echoed Topuria's sentiment, putting McGregor's demand clearly into perspective. He's still the golden goose, of course. He is, Rogan affirmed. McGregor's appeal hasn't diminished. His value remains unaffected, even if he's no longer the sole king at the top of skill rankings. He still commands more attention than anyone else in the sport, guaranteeing millions of viewers. This kind of gravitational pull is rare, enduring in an era where stars rise and fall quickly, precisely why he remains central to White House discussion.
Right? Okay, a special treat in the White House and a special treat in Conor McGregor, which is almost a gift, right? Bread Panty Night is real. That's a gift for somebody. We'll gift this to Justin Gaethje on his way out the door, and he won't mind fighting at a different weight class because he's leaving anyway. He's not coming up the ranks. This is all part of the thought process as to why it's going to be Conor versus Justin Gaethje, but that is also believed that Justin Gaethje was going to lose. Now, you can't say that. When you go in and you start talking about these deals, there's never say, hey, you're going to lose to Patty. So when you lose to Patty, we're going to bump you up a weight class that won't matter as you're on your way out anyway. Like, you can't say those things. So when he goes in and gets the win, it's very hard to unwind that and go, okay, it's no longer McGregor and Gaethje. They're both going to go. Why? Right? Imagine McGregor that already said yes to Gaethje. He's saying the same thing.
Rogan, alongside Chael Sonnen, pointed to McGregor's deeper influence, transcending wins and losses. They described him as one of the few fighters who truly rewired the business itself. The blueprint wasn't just fighting, it was noise, personality, and saying outrageous things loudly enough that people couldn't look away. This attention morphed into leverage, which then became an unprecedented fortune. Whether loved or hated, Rogan's point was simple. For some fighters, this isn't trash talk, it's a perfected strategic business decision.
Because we've seen on the internet, you versus McGregor.
You never know, right? Shit, give them what they want, not what they expect. I can say some big news, and I can't deny or confirm what you just said.
Even Chael Sonnen was talking about it. And as I say, when you look at Jorge Masvidal and the career that he's had, and then you remember Jorge Masvidal has been a massive supporter of Donald Trump. I think he's spoken publicly at rallies for Donald Trump as well. So he's certainly in the good graces of the Trump family, right? And they're the kind of people that they're going to want at the White House. Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. That'll be a sensational matchup. Michael Chandler, of course, losing to Paddy Pimblett the way that he did. And then, of course, when you look at the majority of fights that he's lost, okay, it doesn't really put him in too good of a standing, okay? And, of course, he's 155. Yeah, he'd come up to 170 to fight McGregor, but he's not a natural 170. And Jorge Masvidal has fought at 155, but also finished his career at 170. He did fight for the belt. He did have the fastest knockout in history. He absolutely destroyed Nate Diaz when he became the first BMF. I mean, if you go back to 2019, that was the coming out.
Khabib, however, doubled down on his skepticism, framing the White House card as more than a spectacle. If you're gonna fight like guys who on the top, like Dustin Poirier, this fight gonna show your level, he declared. Fighting Cowboy Cerrone might make McGregor look flashy and sell tickets, but it doesn't reveal if he can hang with the elite. For Khabib, the White House stage is a crucible. It will show if McGregor's prime is truly gone, or if he can still perform at the sport's pinnacle, determining if he's a contender or merely a headline.
Modern young generation of fighters are going to know you for the way you commentate, the way you call plays, the way you are so analytical about fighters. You're amazing at what you do at bringing the whole story to life. And I think it's like one piece of the puzzle that has to be there. Like, we need John Anik, you know, and we've seen you do some other things with the Canelo fight, which was amazing, by the way, which I want to talk about. How much of this chemistry is built off the camera versus on the camera? I'll start with you.
While Khabib questioned his hunger, Conor McGregor vehemently insists the fire is not just back but stronger. Ahead of the White House card, he framed his return as a personal mission, fueled by faith and reflection. I've engaged on a spiritual journey, and I've saved. I am healed. McGregor proclaimed, his competitive spark, once merely a flame, is now a rolling blaze, promising a sharper, more focused version of himself. For him, the White House isn't just an event, it's the proving ground for this relentless, reinvigorated warrior.
You know, it's no secret. Obviously, I want to fight Conor, and I think it's no secret by the things that he's posting, the interviews that he's doing, the number of times he said my name, posted a video of me and him and our highlights and all that kind of stuff a week or so ago. He wants to fight me. I want to fight him. He wants to fight at the White House. I want nothing more than to be wearing the red, white, and blue stars and bars, walking onto the White House lawn and fighting at the White House. You know how hard it is to put percentages on anything in mixed martial arts. It's such a crazy sport, and that's why we love it. But one thing is for sure, Conor wants to fight me at the White House. I want to fight him at the White House. And conversations are being had. I think things are moving in that direction, but we're never going to know when this thing's going to be announced. So we will see. All I know is I'm going to start training here very soon, like laser focused on June, whatever it is. And they're going to keep holding the cards close to their chests, as they always do, trying to keep things a secret. And we'll see how.
Chael Sonnen, building on McGregor's promise, offered perspective on a potential matchup with Justin Gaethje. He framed it as almost a gift, a smart pairing that makes sense for both the spectacle and the fighters involved. However, Sonnen cautioned that once the cage door closes, nothing is guaranteed. Even if McGregor has agreed, the outcome will write its own story, and the real test will be proving this new, relentless version of himself can truly back up all the hype when the lights are brightest. Sonnen further broke down the complexities of McGregor being inserted directly into a title fight at 55 pounds. Such a move, he explained, raises serious questions about the integrity of the belt and could make things incredibly messy. As a pragmatic workaround, Sonnen suggested a clash with the loser of Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. This matchup, while not a title fight, could still generate immense intrigue and deliver a massive fight with serious appeal, ensuring the White House card is about meaningful competition, not just buzz. Michael Bisping weighed in, passionately advocating for Jorge Masvidal as a sensational opponent for Conor McGregor at the White House. Bisping highlighted Masvidal's history as a staunch supporter of Donald Trump, having spoken at rallies, aligning him perfectly with the political spotlight of the venue. Masvidal's career, from the fastest knockout in UFC history to becoming the first BMF champion, positions him as a fighter capable of delivering both credibility and unparalleled spectacle against McGregor on such a unique stage. Bisping sharply contrasted Masvidal with Michael Chandler, whose recent losses in natural weight class make him a less compelling option. Chandler's defeat to Paddy Pimblett and his general record, Bisping noted, don't put him in a strong standing. While Chandler would move up to 170 pounds, he's not a natural at that weight. Masvidal, on the other hand, finished his career at 170, fought for the belt, and possesses a resume of iconic moments that promise a far more impactful and believable matchup against McGregor. John Anik offered a different perspective, acknowledging the excitement of McGregor's return but questioning some rumored matchups. He suggested that a fight with Michael Chandler, while patriotic and attention-grabbing, doesn't carry much weight in the lightweight division, potentially even happening at a catchweight. Anik, renowned for his analytical commentary, seeks matchups with true competitive meaning rather than pure spectacle, pushing for fights that genuinely test McGregor's current skill level within the existing hierarchy. For Anik, the real intrigue and meaningful stakes for McGregor lie in potential clashes with fighters like Nate Diaz or Mauricio Ruffy. These matchups, he believes, would genuinely test McGregor's skills and deliver significant competitive value inside the octagon. Unlike some other proposed bouts, Anik's focus is squarely on elevating the sport's integrity, ensuring that McGregor's comeback, especially on such a grand stage, is defined by legitimate challenges rather than merely drawing eyeballs for the sake of it. Adding fuel to the fire, Michael Chandler stepped forward with a direct, confident call-out. He wants Conor McGregor, and he wants it on the White House stage. Chandler pointed to McGregor's own posts, interviews, and even highlight reels as undeniable proof the feeling is mutual. He wants to fight me. I want to fight him, Chandler declared, emphasizing their shared desire. Despite MMA's unpredictability, he made it crystal clear that both fighters are aligned, and critically, conversations are progressing. Chandler's conviction runs deep. He's already laser-focused on training, ready to make this dream matchup a reality whenever the UFC gives the green light. One thing is for sure, Conor wants to fight me at the White House. I want to fight him at the White House, he reiterated. While the promotion keeps its cards close to its chest, as is their custom, Chandler anticipates the announcement and is preparing intensely. He envisions himself wearing red, white, and blue stars and bars, walking onto the White House lawn, embodying a patriotic spectacle. The promotion, however, has a stubborn vision for McGregor's return, still pushing for him at 85 pounds. This is despite extremely accurate insider information confirming that Conor will not be fighting at that weight class. This fundamental disagreement behind the scenes creates a tricky situation, forcing the UFC to either concede or find a truly exceptional workaround. It highlights the power struggle inherent in managing a star of McGregor's magnitude, where even the organization's desires can clash with fighter realities. Rogan further elaborated on McGregor's profound impact, noting that alongside Chael Sonnen, he truly rewired the business itself. The blueprint wasn't merely fighting skill, it was an intoxicating blend of noise, magnetic personality, and saying outrageous things loudly enough to command universal attention. This relentless pursuit of the spotlight became leverage, transforming into unparalleled financial success. Regardless of personal feelings, McGregor mastered the art of strategy, leveraging public perception to reshape the entire sport's commercial landscape. So where does this leave Conor McGregor? He remains the golden goose, a fighter whose gravitational pull far exceeds his current win-loss record. His next move, especially on the historic White House card, isn't just another fight, it's a defining moment. Will he prove Khabib wrong, validating his renewed blaze, or will the prime comes only once prophecy hold true? The White House stage isn't merely for spectacle or money, it's the ultimate test of legacy, determining if McGregor is truly back or simply a captivating echo of his legendary past.